Moving away, COVID-19, Lagos records 6 deaths, 519 cases in 2 days, and the rider 4 million doses of Moderna vaccine arrived from Page Story.
Moderna
as well. Yeah.
Oh,
4 million.
Yeah, I listened to Dr. Tedros, the director of the World Health, yesterday. And there was a sense of lamentation in the way he was addressing the current COVID situation. I took some quotes. He said, only last week, 4 million new cases were reported. 4 million globally, only last week. And that the Delta variant already 132 countries. And again, he lamented mostly what the world needs today, apart from oxygen, apart from preventive health care, apart from training doctors who tackle the situation, is vaccine. More vaccines. More vaccines. The vaccines are not enough. And there's still what a lot of countries are doing, vaccine nationality. They are keeping it for themselves. Yesterday, Canada reported that it has even bypassed Israel, in vaccinating citizens. That means almost every Canadian has been vaccinated. 2 doses, 2 jabs, the one that need it. Just like Israel. They've even gone above what they should do, But if you come to Africa, there's major under-vaccination in most countries. The COVAX is just sitting and waiting for donors. And nobody's donating to COVAX. Nobody. It's just all on paper. So there's a COVID problem. The pandemic is not about to end. That's what Dr. Tedros essentially was saying. There's a COVID situation. We like to have a forecast of when this will come to an end. But today, because of vaccinations especially, we're going nowhere. And then the Delta variant has come, destabilizing and disrupting plans. Countries like Nigeria already, we've already shut down our isolation centers. To get them working again has become a problem. We pray that I saw a doctor on TV this one of the resident doctors on strike. Yeah. He was saying that if there's an outbreak today, we can't cope. If there's an outbreak today, we cannot cope. The country is already grappling with cholera that is killing in 18 states in the country now. And there's a pandemic, we're trying to manage it. But if there's an outbreak today, there's no way. It was just essentially saying that we do not have the facilities to be able to cope. Maybe the last time there was a national emergency, a national response around the problem, and we see how far that went. But now, we have lowered our guards. If anything happens now, we're probably in a bigger problem than we'll ever be. He's saying that, and this is based on the fact that resident doctors are saying we have an agreement with government. Government haven't met our agreement. Over 100 days to sign that MOU and MOA. And so we're going on strike from today. 16,000 doctors, 60,000 residents today have down tools. So you can see what will happen to you. These are they call them house officers. Most of the people you use in hospitals, especially public hospitals, are resident doctors. So you can imagine take 16,000 out of the health system. How many doctors we even have in the country? The enemy tells you 40,000. I'm not sure they have a particular number. And then there's a major brain drain because doctors are running away every day. Saudi Arabia came to do recruitment here. If you're a young doctor, $5,000 per month. If you have experience, 7,000. If you just sign up, if you're good, they'll just do the test. Or you send the test, you pass. They have a consultant. He will do your paperwork and will take you to Saudi Arabia and give you work. $5,000 per month. You know how much that naira? $25.20 per dollar. So the doctors are all running away from the country. There's a major brain drain in that sector. Yet 16,000 are down in tools today. Imagine the effect on our public health institutions. The doctors said today, one of their reasons they are going on strike, that I'm going to read that communique to you. See, the Nigerian doctor, an endangered species, grappling with the pandemic, poor workplace infrastructure, and security threats.
But they're quite true about, some of these things. All of them, I should say.
It's the truth. The government, I really don't like doctors becoming like us, going on strike every day. Because again, doctors understand their own place. They're almost last hope. They know the oath they took. They know that to go on strike must be the very, very last option. But it's happening almost every day now. 100 days ago, they called off their strike, and they're back on it today. Again, because of government's response to their needs and their demands. Do you know that as we speak, the president of the country is taking medical treatment in the UK? This will sadden doctors. This will motivate them to go on strike when they remember that even our president doesn't care too much. If he falls ill, he will go to the UK. But we're here, we're endangered, a security threat. I mean, if the president of the NMA was saying that doctors who died during the pandemic, during the first wave of COVID-19, their families haven't been paid their allowances yet. He doesn't want, the president of the NMA didn't want to add, Professor Innocent Uja, he didn't want to add his voice to to the end to the resident doctors strike because the NMA ran from the resident doctors. But he reminded Nigerians that those who died in the service of their fatherland during the COVID pandemic the first time, their families haven't seen a kobo. I don't know.
They're very right about these things that I've highlighted. They're very right. They're very correct about these things.
No, you must side with the doctors when you hear their complaints. I mean, the doctors are in danger grappling with a pandemic, poor workplace infrastructure. And why do you want to come to work? Why do I want to come to the studio this morning without the microphone working? We don't need, because I won't broadcast. It's the same thing with the doctors. You arrive at work, there are no work tools, and then you're threatened by a raging pandemic that is killing doctors too. I really sympathize with them. But again, I always say collective bargaining is the way to go. They should go to the table and talk. Chris Ngig's office says unaware of a strike. This is the minister. His office issued a statement latest today to say they are unaware of any notice of a strike, but that they are ready to start discussions this morning. So they should go ahead, talk to these doctors, implement the agreement you reached with them so that they can be back at work.
I've got the Nigerian Tribune now. Four-man panel begins.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more. Leave a comment and like. Thank you.